I don't think I've ever told this story before, but my cousin and I were followed at an arcade. Today, I'm gonna be getting ready while I tell you my story, how me and my cousin were followed at an arcade. This was a long time ago, so let's get right into it. This was a long time ago. My cousin and I were 15, 16 years old, and this was the first time we had like gone out on our own without any adults, and we decided to go to an arcade. So in this arcade, they had like laser tag, and then they had bowling, and an arcade within that same building. So we started off with bowling and we were like vibing, we were feeling the vibes, we were chilling. We started to get like a weird feeling, right? We just kind of felt like, oh, there's this guy that's like been looking at us. But we were like, maybe we're just being paranoid. We're just like, oh, like everyone like does it, like everyone starts with bowling and then they move on to like laser tag. But tell me why we bump into this guy at the laser tag, like because it was like a 2-level thing, but the laser tag was within the same building. But you would go into this room, you would choose your jacket, and according to the color of your jacket, that was your team. My cousin and I both picked the same color and we went in. It starts whenever they get enough people to start playing. So we finally had enough people, and tell me why we slowly start to see this same guy. Every time we take a turn somewhere, he's there. And at first we were like, oh, we're just being paranoid. Like, we just saw him while we were bowling, but you know, it's nothing. Like, we're just playing. Like, this is part of the laser tag thing. It's 2 levels. So we didn't really think much of it until we realized we were the only ones at a certain, like, there was 2 levels. So we were at the 2nd level, and all of a sudden, everyone else disappeared. It was just us, my cousin and I, and that guy. And then we're like, that's not creepy at all. And then we got out, and it was just him. And I told her like it was just us 3 the whole time, and we're like, no, like I swear, like we were playing with other players. We were like, okay, like whatever, like let's just play again, because we still had like a few hours left. And my cousin and I decided to go again. And then tell me why whenever we were trying to buy another game, they were like, no, the guy, he said that y'all were okay, that he was gonna pay for you guys. And we were like, what? And like we started to get paranoid because we're like, dang, we're gonna be the only 3 there. And my cousin and I were like, let's just stick together, like let's not like go too far from each other just in case. So we were like paranoid, but we weren't like scared. So we finished the game. He just kept like coming up to us, like everywhere we were turned he was there, and my cousin and I were trying to play games. And then he's like, oh no, let me pay for you guys. And we're like, no. And it got to the point where like we started to get scared of like how much he was insisting and he was following us. So my cousin and I were like, okay, that's fine. So to us, we were like kids, so we didn't know any better, but like he kept following us, and I was like, dang, like if he's like gonna pay for our stuff and like keep following us, then this is not it, like let's go. We were like so scared to leave that we didn't know what to do. So my cousin and I came up with a plan. I don't remember if we went to the restroom, but we were like able to like catch a little time in between from where he wasn't with us. I think he was like playing a game, and my cousin and I were like, dang, like we need to come up with a plan, because at the end of the day, this is so creepy now. So like to us, we were like, we know better, like stranger danger. So my cousin and I decided to like come up with a plan, because we didn't want to be so obvious, because there was only one like way out. We're like trying to come up with a plan while he was distracted playing another game. The arcade was right by the door, so there was no way that we could leave without him seeing us. And we're like, what the heck? Like we started to get like a bad feeling about it, and like my cousin and I were getting so anxious because like we were about to finish the arcade money that he had given us. To begin with, we didn't even want it. It's just he just kept insisting and he kept harassing us. So we're like, okay, like he's just being nice, he's gonna leave us alone. It was a total opposite. Like this whole time, like he was like constantly like over us. Like we were playing games and then he was like right there, and then he got really close to me to where I felt like he was whispering in my ear, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is creepy. I just felt like shivers down my spine. So my cousin and I were just like, damn, like what are we gonna do? Like there's no way out without him noticing. Like what if he goes to the restroom, then we can go. go, but we're like, I don't think he's gonna go because he's like, he's gonna expect something from it, like, because he paid for our games. So my cousin came up with a plan. She's like, I'm gonna call one of my friends and we're gonna fake like he's my boyfriend, and then we're gonna be able to get out of here. So that was the initial plan, right? We made sure that she had her phone like so loud, but like the thing is, I think one of the friends that she called was not answering, and I think she sent them a message and she was like, hey, like pretend like you're my boyfriend because there's a guy here at the arcade and he's like following us and like he doesn't leave us alone. They're like, okay. So my cousin made sure to turn on her like ring on her phone and to like make sure that it's like so loud, that way he could hear that someone was calling us. She told her friend, okay, call me in like this amount of minutes, and then if I don't answer, then we'll go from there. Thankfully her friend called her. He like basically was faking like he was her boyfriend and he was like, it's time to come home, blah blah blah. And so we thought we were like gonna be able to leave just like that, be like, bye, well thank you so much, I appreciate it. But no, he asked me for my number and I was like, this had been the first time that like I had been asked for my number like at a random place, because like I said, it was the first time we had gone out, and I froze and I was literally starting to like give him my number. I'm like, why am I gonna give him my number? I was like, no, like that's creepy. And then I started to make up the number and I feel like he realized that I was making it up. I feel like I was kind of being a little too obvious and he asked me to repeat the number. And I was like, wait, what? He's like, yeah, like repeat the number. I want to make sure you get my text. And he really wanted me to show him, oh, that you got my text, or he was trying to call me to make sure that was my number. I guess he had tried it previously and someone played him. And I just looked at my cousin so scared, like, and he started to get angry. He's like, did you give me a fake number? I'm like, no. He's like, then repeat the number. And I'm like, no, like I already gave it to you. Like, why am I going to repeat it? So we were going like back and forth about it, and he was starting to like lose his temper. And have you ever seen someone that has crazy eyes? Like the way that he was looking at us, I have never seen anyone look at us like that before. And it was one of the craziest experiences because he's like, oh, I'm leaving too. And my cousin and I just froze. We looked at each other like like, what do we do? Like, we thought we had like already like planned everything out, but we didn't expect him to like follow us. So my cousin and I were like, damn, like I guess we're just gonna have to like go for it. And my cousin and I held each other like with our arms, we looped them around each other, and then I think my cousin said run. I can't really remember. I feel like I kind of blacked out during that time because I was so scared. We saw him leave, but we saw him turn to the right and there was no parking spots. There was bushes. So I was like, okay, like I told her, I'm pretty sure he's hiding in the bushes. And she was on the right side and I was on the left side. So when we came out, I'm like, be careful. Tell me why this man came out of nowhere. And he tried to pull my cousin. He said, come here. And I was like, what the heck? And thankfully, my cousin and I had looped our arms together. So like he couldn't get to her. So we like ran to her car. And all of a sudden we see him get in his car. It was like a red Camaro. And tell me why this man sped out of the parking lot. And he turned towards the right, like going out of the arcade. And it was like a residential area. So we're like, oh my God, like we were just like taking a breather in a moment. We were like, oh my gosh, like, did you realize he was about to snatch you up? My cousin hadn't realized. My cousin like blinked out and I had too. But like I said, thankfully, like we had looped our arms together, because if not, imagine. We were at my cousin's car. And so the way that we were going is we were going to turn to the left to get onto the main road, but he had turned to the right. It was getting dark already. You had to use your car lights. So tell me why when we're pulling out of the arcade, all of a sudden we see lights turn on. It was the guy. He was waiting for us. So we're like, oh my gosh, like he's gonna follow us. And we were on the way to my parents' house because I lived close and her parents were at my parents' house too. So tell me why every turn that we made, he was following us. And like we had like seen videos, because this is the age where like they start to prep you in school, because that's when you start to go out. We had like seen videos like never go to your house, go to like a public place, like I guess like the police station, but the police station was kind of far. We didn't know any better, so we're like, fuck, like we can't go home because then he's gonna know where I live, and I didn't want him to know where I live because I'm like, he's gonna try to pull up. My cousin's like, okay, let's go to the store. And so we're like, we were trying to lose him, and like I said, if we made a left turn, he would make a left turn. So at that point it started to get really scary because it wasn't only the fact that he like was harassing us, he was actually like also trying to like snatch one of us away, and then now he was following us. So at this point, like, we were so scared. Thankfully, like, we decided to go to a grocery store, and the light was turning like red, but it was yellow. That was like the way that we lost him, but I'm pretty sure he saw where we went. And we almost literally crashed because we were so like paranoid and scared, and like we weren't thinking. So my cousin didn't yield, and so thankfully the car that was coming towards us stopped. But yeah, so thankfully like we made it to the grocery store without him being there, or at least we thought we lost him. I don't know if he actually pulled up to the grocery store, but thankfully like my cousin had friends that either worked there, like were already at the grocery store. So thankfully, my cousin had friends that worked at that grocery store because we were trying to get like backup just in case he tried to pull up again. And that way, like, so he could see that we were with like guides, so he wouldn't try to like size us up. But yeah, thankfully, her friends were there. And that's actually how I met one of her friends during that time. So one of those friends actually became my friend for like a time. Whenever we pulled into the grocery store and we saw them, we were telling them the story of what had happened. And I feel like maybe they didn't believe us, or maybe that we were being like over exaggerated, because when we got home and told our parents, and they were like y'all are crazy, like he was just trying to like get to know y'all, or blah blah blah. Like they didn't really think like people had bad intentions during that time. And we were like, no, like, so we talked about it. It's like, dang, they don't believe us. And then tell me why that whole week I was so paranoid. Every time a red Camaro would pass through, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's him. Like he's looking for us, like hoping that he'll see us like just randomly. But I can't believe this actually happened to us, and our parents didn't even believe us. They thought we were just being like paranoid, but my cousin and I know that story was true, and I'm so glad we made it out because I was honestly so scared. We don't know at the end of the day what his intentions were, or if he just didn't know like social cues, but still, like, that's scary. Like, he almost snatched my cousin. But yeah, let me know if you have any crazy stories in the comments, and as always, thank you so much for watching. As always, I love you, my baddies, and I'll see you next time. Okay, bye.